Hey everybody, this is Manadog with another Starcraft Underground League Season 2 cast. I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. I'm going to do I'm going to do a series where I follow the SCUL League journey of one particular player, someone that I don't think we got enough of. So this player is going to be FridgeRaider, and this is his first matchup he played in Season 2. This is against Firetip, who is a Protoss from Team Chaos. FridgeRaider is a Terran from Team Unhinged. I should mention that. Anyway, this is their series from Week 5. The first map is on Knockout, so I'm going to start up. So as I said, I got FridgeRaider, the hero of this series. FridgeRaider is spawning in the top right as the white Terran in Knockout, and in the bottom right I have the powder blue Protoss as Firetip. Fridge is a pretty standard sort of macro player. I think he wants the game to go long and really excels at that. He's like a pretty smart player, but he can definitely get caught out by some cheesier plays or maybe some like more unique stuff. He's also got pretty good TVP for his level in general. Firetip is a little more of like the ladder Protoss style where he does a lot of unique builds, and he's definitely got like kind of a lot of gotchas and bag of build sort of stuff. But this is a pretty standard start for him, just the regular pylon. But anyway, as I said, this is part of a series, so in all these that I'm casting, FridgeRaider is our hero. And anyone who knows Fridge knows that he's like a really sweet guy. And we just want him to play more SCUL, so we're just gonna watch him. We're just gonna root for him, and we're gonna hopefully motivate him to maybe play again, because I don't know if he's signed up for Season 3 yet. So anyway, he's got his first depot down. He's placing barracks, standard timing more or less. Firetip also just doing like a very standard build. He's got the gateway up, he's got his gas up. Probably see a core fairly soon, just get the goon out. He is scouting, not cross, he's scouting the bottom left first. I think this is a somewhat fast timing, but if he continues, if he doesn't go all the way across, he's going to find FridgeRaider last. So FridgeRaider also going for a far scout. I think most commonly on this map, you usually want to scout your close spawn, so you have to know if there's anything potentially dangerous coming quickly. But neither player did that, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. So here's the core. No zealot coming, just goon's gonna pop, probably get range. We got our sim going here. So I mean, if this had been like a proxy or I don't know, like a forward gate, I think the timing on this, like having your second depot here, might actually be a little bit scary. But anyway, both the scouts are going to cross each other's paths in the top left. Factory timing, I missed it, but it doesn't seem incredible. Try to do a better job tracking that throughout this series, following our Terran hero. Anyway, so range is going, first goon. Everything's super standard so far here, to be honest. Both of these players, based on this, will probably be looking to take a Nexus and a CC fairly soon. Okay, we're just stopping the scout. Yep, you put these in a line here, so any goon that fights has to be in the low ground, shoot up. Got probe here, more or less ready to take a 23 Nexus. Similarly, usually this is at 24, but we're doing it at, yeah, okay, canceled something to get to 24. Okay, yeah, Firetip with a 22 Nexus. A little behind on probe count, but denying the scout, so both players are pretty blind. I think that particular part is probably going to favor Firetip, because I think he's probably the one that's more likely to do something that you would need to scout, and you wouldn't just assume. Fridge probably needs to get 2 SCVs back on gas. There it is. What's going really well for our hero, though, is our CC is a little bit ahead of the Nexus, and you generally you see the Nexus go down first. So if they're like a similar timing or ahead, Terran is pretty happy with that. He's got his bunker down. This might be slightly too far back. You generally want like the goons at max range to have to stand in the gap there. So very standard. We got a tank. We got mines. eBay coming down because we're blind. This eBay would be too slow for like a DT, but let's see if this is for Observer or for Reaver. Pretty normal, both expansions are up. Fridge needs to transfer. There's the transfer. Yeah. Firetip a little low on probes. I'm not really sure if he's intentionally cutting or what for. Third gate probably coming down. Yeah. So he's just massing goons. Next tank, we should get another upgrade started soon. Probably look for a armory coming up. Yeah. Firetip is just kind of denying vision with these 3 goons. He's not really forward at all, and Fridge has managed to like mine up the path in between and the path to the third. So until the Observer's out, Firetip can't really go anywhere. But he's also not looking to, and this Observer's in a pretty good timing, so it'll be fast enough to clear the third. Tanks are coming. Kind of wondering where the armory is. I think we need to get an armory and a second gas. We're just getting our turrets up, being safe. Yeah, so now he's going to move up, take his third. A real opportunity here to snipe the probe for Fridge. Okay, there's the armory. Yeah. Second factory, and we have a 3-tank push. This is moving out a little bit late, but not too bad. This speed is pretty late though. We should see rallied vultures. We got the depots going. Yeah, so going up this ramp though is going to be a little scary, a little tough. But if this is executed well, I mean, he should be able to have something here because this is a fairly normal Nexus time. Oh, I don't think we actually needed to run there. I think he didn't spot it right away. Yeah, we're going to lose that tank for nothing. I think if we'd led with the Marines, we could have gotten all the tanks up. Instead, we're just going to kind of lose stuff. Nice mine there, though. It's a very good mine. Very good second mine. So that was what? That was 3 goons, and then a tank and like 2 Marines. I feel like that probably favors Protoss, but I'm not sure. Tanks are pretty valuable. Big mine? Big mine. I don't know, there's definitely room for Fridge to do something here. But he is not making anything from these factories, he's just getting siege, nothing's being rallied. He's just going to look to build up his tank count. That's why he's getting the second shop. Firetip getting his Zealot legs, more gateways. Both of these players are pretty light on probes, or probes and SCVs at the moment. At 8 minutes, ideally you're as close to 50 as possible, but they're both a little ways away from that. We also have a few idle ones for Fridge. Academy is also late. If you're doing like a 5-fact, which Fridge is at the moment, I think you want this. I think you want the Academy like almost like a minute and a half earlier or so, and then you want it to line up so that you can take your scanners, and then when you put down the scanners, that's when you make the next 3 factories, because your money will build up since you're not making any SCVs. Anyway, Firetip is just posturing, ahead in supply, a little low on workers, but he's got the third up, which is nice, making the forge. He's kind of just going gateway units so far. Not really making his way to Arbiter, which is kind of what I think the eventual plan is. Zealot legs are almost done. Zealots incoming. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so he's thrown down, he's got the archives, he's got the Stargate. So Fridge right now has an economic lead, but he needs to be making out of these factories for that to kick in, definitely. Both players are floating a bit here, but yeah, your production just kicked in as Terran. So I think if we had maybe waited, like produced vultures right away and like waited for a round, this would maybe be a little bit safer. But Firetip is kind of just positioned in the middle. He's not really looking to jump on it anyway. However, he is taking a fourth, fairly normal. I don't think this is a greedy fourth at all. Cannon or two. Okay. So often the decision here for Terran is you can decide if you're gonna. Like the most common thing to do nowadays is you put down a CC and then you add 3 more factories to go up to 8. It looks like Fridge wants to do that, or maybe he's pushing. This push would be pretty late, especially this +1 is not quite even done. But there's no reason, yeah, oh no, that's a starport. If you wanted to do that though, there's no reason that you'd have to wait this long. Like you could put down the CC inside your base. Okay, we need to get up and support these tanks. These SCVs are blocking. Protoss is gonna get a pretty nice engage here. Those SCVs blocking out our vultures is kind of a disaster. We lost, I mean, we got a lot of Protoss units, but we also lost like a pretty big chunk of our tanks, which is the most important thing here. Fridge is also still not started his 3rd CC, and he's making 2 starports. Some nice mines here though, yes. Okay, that's a nice consolation. Thinking maybe we made a starport and then forgot we made a starport and threw down a second one. Armor is going. Fridge thinks he can push. Oh, I've hidden Firetip for some reason. If you look at the supply though, Firetip's ahead on supply while having slightly fewer probes. This is a decent position. We have a lot of zealots though. Yeah, the mines here will help. We're starting with the turret. We definitely need to be macroing and rallying if we're going to try and do this push. Yeah, this is really hard to approach on to go over these, but yeah, I think we just didn't have enough here yet, and this is going to get cleaned up. There's our tanks, and let's see, that's 2 tanks. We have total 3. Yeah, I think Firetip can take his 4th off this. He can deny the 3rd from Fridge. We don't have more factories because we lost our racks and didn't realize it. Okay, some nice tank shots, but I think if we lose these, we're in real trouble. Okay, we save 2. Alright, nice. Firetip is, however, how many gates is that? That's 8 gates, that's a good number. Arbiter is out, 4th is started. We got the CC finally, the 3rd going for Fridge. I don't know, his supply is a bit low, but he probably would want to look to get a 4th soon too, especially because this is a mineral only 3rd. So we have the starport, we have the science facility. Are we starting weapons? Yeah, we need another armory to start +2 weapons. I think we missed that. And there's also an opportunity for some like a fat stasis. Like we've only got 4 tanks, 5 tanks right now. So if these all siege up together, and then 1 stasis lands, that's gonna be game. So Firetip positioning around. Okay, got some vultures in, but doesn't look like he really got much of anything. Firetip in general remains kind of low on probes, especially going up to 4 bases. 47 is definitely low. But his supply is ahead, so I mean he's definitely got the army. He can't move into here really. Just to clear this observer. Yeah. Is this the first? I guess this is the first actual Arbiter that just popped. For some reason I was thinking we would have one a bit faster. It's getting server speed. Okay, so this tank count all the way up to 7 again, looking healthy. We're finally taking the 3rd. Are we transferring? We haven't saturated it, so we have 60 SCVs, and we still have not saturated with, okay, there's some. But I mean, we very much need to take a fourth, because this is, again, this is a gasless one, gasless third. Yep, so we didn't have any mines set up, we're not really in position to fight this. He's just targeting the CC, so if he wants it, this CC is definitely dead. And Fridge is, yeah. Okay, this is a smart move from Firetip. He's down in supply, so I mean, he wouldn't really win a straight up fight right now. But he took out the CC, which was late to start with. So I mean, Fridge is going to be running, yeah, Fridge is going to be running into the issue of mining out fairly soon. So if he isn't able to establish something or kill Firetip very quickly, which it looks, okay, it looks like he realizes it and he has chosen the kill Firetip option, which, if he brings everything, we need to bring this vessel. This is actually like a pretty scary army right now, especially if you look at supplies, they're tied. So let's see if our Terran hero can rescue this one. The third CC was so slow, and the fourth still non-existent, that we're in a position where we pretty much need to kill or near kill with this. Yeah, we're not even remaking it. Okay, here's the engage from Protoss. Some mines, sandwiching from both sides. Wow, we're able to get on the tanks on both sides right away. Pretty good engage from Firetip. Definitely, he didn't have the army size, but it was a pretty good engage, and there were some angles where he was able to get in with no mines. Although Fridge, so I think Fridge is kind of turned that, but the problem is that he's not making money now. He's making, yeah, oh, and where we do have mineral patches, we're not mining them. It looks like we didn't transfer from the one that mined out. We transferred from the one that still has plenty left. So I actually think this push had a lot of potential, but instead it's going to just kind of gas out. Yeah, the CC just started kind of recently. Firetip looking to take a fifth. Bridge's upgrades are not anywhere near, but yeah, this is just the lack of economy is what's going to do it. I think Firetip's in a great spot here, and it's really just because Fridge was so slow at making his CCs. Like, even the worker count is there. But yeah, if he had started a CC much earlier, and here, I mean, look how you could just lift that. That's like 2 seconds to get over there. You don't actually need to clear this to start it. Although, if Fridge can, I don't think we can have our army out in no man's land like this that we're not reinforcing. Okay, maybe Fridge realizes it and is going to go home. But there was this like big period where Fridge had no money and therefore was not really reinforcing, and Firetip was just building. So if you look at the supply gap, it's 40 now, which is pretty substantial. Our vessel is far back, so if anything runs in, we're gonna not see it until it's on top of the tanks. Also, all of the mines are like behind us, so like zealots could run in here and just pull forward all these mines. That's gonna be very scary. Okay, big engage. Well, I think these mines are disaster. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think we got basically shut down by our own mines, aside from the other problems. And okay, so the game's over. Firetip, Firetip wins game 1. Okay. Let's check out what map 2 is. Okay, and Fridge is picking Polestar like a good Terran. And my menu is correct. Fantastic. Okay. Alright, so we're going into game 2. Fridge is up, or Fridge is not up. Fridge is down. Firetip is up 1-0. He's the orange Protoss spawning in the bottom right of Polestar. Fridge, again, the white Terran, this time in the bottom left of Polestar. I think we saw like a pretty standard game from both players last time. And And I mean, I think just the major the major game changer here was just our hero Fridge. His expansions were not as quickly as they needed to be. Kind of just ran out of resources. I didn't check it at the time, but I think he stayed on 5 factories as well, which is just not like enough production at that point. But I mean, again, we also didn't have the economy to support it. Let's see. So let's see if our Terran hero can do a little better this time. Firetip starting the same way. Same with Fridge, just putting down supply, making workers. Does this one mess up mining? No, I think it's okay. Let's see on the first trip. I think this one's fine. Alright, we're good. Okay, it's our gateway. I think if you're Firetip, after how game 1 went, you don't really need to change anything. Is this gateway a little fast? I can't tell. No, I think it's fine. Alright, we're taking our gas. Yeah, I think we saw what worked in game 1. We're not really motivated to do anything differently. Just see if we can run it back. But we'll see how our hero responds. So Firetip is going to get the first scout here. It's not early enough to try and steal gas because, you know, Firetip is not a psycho trying to steal gas on a 4-player map. But he's going to harass the SCV. Let's see if he makes a zealot. I think he wasn't planning to. Yeah, no, he's not going to. He's just throwing down the core. So ultimately this probe is annoying, but there's no zealots coming, so it's, you know, it's not like a huge deal. Fighting it. Oh, wow. That's like mental damage that we got the SCV, but also we lost the probe, so it's not quite as bad. But anyway, Fridge is scouting the like technically correct direction, but I don't know. I think when you see the probe that fast, maybe you can infer that Protoss is this way. Factories again. This is like 10 seconds late or so in this factory. So there's something our hero is doing that is some like optimization that's kind of messing up the factory timing a little bit. Might have just been from the probe harassing, to be honest. Okay, anyway, goon range is started. Still just scouting. Making our marines. Keeping the lights on. Firetip is not really doing any more scouting. Okay, maybe no, is this to scout or is this to take the Nexus? Okay, Fridge is gonna get in. And he sees everything. He sees both the pylons. He sees there's no tech or nothing hidden down here. He even saw the probes, so he can guess that there's probably a Nexus coming. The CC is again down first, which is great for Terran. But crucially, he didn't scout with this after the first probe died, so Fridge isn't really the sort of player to do it, but there was definitely like an opportunity to do some kind of like a very early push here, I think, or if he had been planning to 2-fac all along, then that would be very scary. This bunker is very far to the right. I guess we're gonna put the racks here. Okay, another probe just to see the expansion. Oh, we got Citadel. Looks like some DTs are on the way. Not like the quickest DTs, but like, you know, the kind of DTs you make to keep Terran in his base. But Fridge is going mines first, and he is getting an eBay, so I mean this eBay will be done well in time. There will be a turret at the front, as long as he remembers in more than enough time for this eventual DT. Are we looking DT drop? I think this might be a DT drop. Yeah, there's our archives. We're getting a robo before that. Yeah, so actually this looks like a DT drop from Firetip. He's making sure that the Vulture can't get in. Again, he's a little light on workers. Yeah, I think both players have missed a few. I think both these numbers seem a little low. But if we only make the one vulture and then we don't mine anything in the path, then we'll have no idea if anything's coming. I don't know. DT drop is always just kind of hard to scout though, because you have to like you don't really get like a look at it. You have to kind of infer from what's not there. So like if you were to go in and see that there were so few goons, for instance, you would know that okay, well his money and his gas went to something else, and you know you can't find an expansion. Yeah, so he's only got 3 goons. So if this had been like a 2-fact game or just like anything aggressive early on, would have been kind of disastrous for Firetip, but it's not, so it's okay. Shuttle's almost done. And we got our first 2 DTs. Turrets. Do we have more turrets? Okay. We've just got the 1, so... Okay, he's gonna see the shuttle. Oh. Yeah, flew right over the mine. Excellent mine there. So he should know something is coming. So if Firetip tries to hit the natural, where the turret is, and he's going right over it, oh man, this might be wonderful, like best case scenario for Fridge. Okay, it still gets away. Oh, it's gonna fly into the other one. Okay, so this is gonna get a lot less done. Well, okay, we don't have one near the CC, so it's actually still gonna get some damage. This is such like a frustrating thing, because it's like you had everything in time and it's just like, oh, I didn't make one turret in, you know, exactly the right spot that I needed to, and now I'm going to take potentially game-ending damage. Yep, so he needs to kind of hang out around this missile turret, wait for it to finish. That mine is very scary. Yeah, and then Protoss can kind of just like swat at everything that's like just out of reach, and it's just like, it's incredibly tilting. We're trying to put mines next to it. And he still needs to move this quite close enough. Okay, he's not looking at it. Gonna get mine damage there, but he's still just gonna beat on the refinery. Okay. But like, look at all that. Like, all that mining time that was lost, the refinery, 7 kills, like, we lost a ton to one DT that got through on a DT drop that flew over turrets twice, you know? It's, these ones, however, are not going to get anything done. So we kind of just have like the yin and the yang of the DT drop, right? Like we saw the one DT that was not positioned especially well that got like a ton done, but then we also saw like the walking DTs that got absolutely nothing, and it kind of somewhat evens out. Both these players are pretty low on workers. Like I was saying in the first game, you want to be at 8 minutes, you kind of want to be closer to 50. You know, we're at almost 9, and neither player is there. Fridge lost a few and had a DT in his base. And Firetip, I don't know if he intentionally cut, or maybe he did that to get the faster DT out or something. But it's a bit low. I think as a player, he just seemed, he's like a micro-focused player more so. But he's got his gate count up, he's up to 8. I think those zealots looked pretty fast. To see next time they move, but zealot speed I'm sure is done. He's getting a 3rd. +1 weapons for Terran, like just started at 9 minutes. And then he is actually making the in-base CC this time, so he's going to be able to take that, hopefully. I think this is scary, but as long as we're making things right now and setting up, like, I think as Terran we're fine here. But Firetip also sees what Fridge is trying to do. Maybe he's just bringing more to hit from 2 sides. Yeah, I think he knows what's happening, and he's just he's gonna deny this. Yeah, these are definitely fast zealots. Stasis is almost done. Yeah, so that's probably not the attack path you want. But again, I think Protoss is like pretty set up at this point. He just needs to kind of get his economy going a little bit more. Fridge has the 3rd CC, but he doesn't have the SCVs. But he is making more, at least. Land that. Okay, he's up to 5 factories now. This is good tank count, right? This is like 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tanks. 9, 10 on the way. Yeah, we need to siege. We need to mine up. Anticipate that this Protoss army is coming. About ready to go. Fridge is down quite a bit of supply, but he's in like a pretty good position. I think he needs more vultures. This is a lot of zealots. Yeah, just running in like this, I don't know. I think we don't have the mines or the vultures to fight this. I think he's gonna get a lot of damage on. Yeah, because the zealots are just like right on top of the tanks right away. Don't think we're killing here necessarily. Like the rally should. Well, this is pretty scary. Okay, Fridge is gonna call it there. All right, well that's sad. We have a disastrous 0-2 in the first series for our hero, but we will we'll pick this up next time and see if he can do a little better in his next match. Anyway, thanks for watching.